Good morning and welcome to the morning's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. After granting the relevant regulatory approvals on April 27th for ExxonMobil's fifth oil project in the Stabroek Block, the PPP government has now demanded that a breakdown of the costs for the development be provided within 90 days. This demand for financial and cost reporting was outlined in the Waru Petroleum Production License that was awarded to the ExxonMobil-led consortium by the Natural Resources Ministry. It notes that within 90 days from the date of the licensee shall submit cost estimates for the Waru project in the format and degree of details no less than that as set out in Annex C of the Stabroek Block PSA. That section allows for a breakdown of development and operating cost estimates. And in other news, this month makes 8 years since Guyana is without an updated legislative and regulatory framework that is essential for the protection of the oil industry against mismanagement and corruption. One of the key regulatory architectures that remains in limbo is the Petroleum Commission Bill that would pave the way for the appointment of an independent regulator. The Petroleum Commission Bill was initially proposed by the APNU-AFC for the establishment of an independent body which would hold responsibility for monitoring and enforcing Guyana's modernized petroleum laws, policies, and oil agreements. The body is also intended to ensure oil companies comply with health, safety, and environmental standards. And now let's tell you, Chief Operating Officer for Hess Corporation Greg Hill recently told shareholders that Guyana's fourth oil project at the Yellowtail field in the Stabroek Block is running away ahead of schedule. He also noted that topside fabrication and installation activities have commenced and development drilling is underway. The petroleum production license for the Yellowtail project was granted on April 1st, 2022 to ExxonMobil subsidiary Esso. In other news, amid growing concerns in society over the cost of living and the state of the economy, President of the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, Paul Narain, called on the government to implement measures to assist low-earning workers, and one of which is for the national minimum and public sector minimum wages be equated to offer relief and breathing room to families who are harmed by the drastic price increases. Addressing workers at the Federation of Independent Trade Unions of Guyana, or FITUG Labor Rally at the National Park on Monday, Narain said there are many workers who wished to be at the rally but are facing several challenges and encountering tremendous difficulties. Narain said Labor Day is a day when workers raise high the banner of solidarity of the international working class. And moving on, the reconstruction and furnishing of the burnt-out Christchurch Secondary School would cost Guyana almost $1 billion. This is according to the opening of tenders on Thursday, during which several projects for the reconstruction of the building were read at the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board office. The Ministry of Education, who is the procuring agency for the project, had issued an invitation for bids for contractors and suppliers, seeking them to execute masonry and finishing works on the building, installation of fire prevention units, installation of the air conditioning infrastructure and units, and installation of the plumbing infrastructure and fixtures, among others. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We'll return shortly after the break.
On Sunday, 7th May, Everest Cricket Club, Georgetown. He is coming for the first time. Direct from India, Abhijit. Abhijit, live in concert. For info call 592-628-6582, 592-661-5990. For the first time, playback singer Abhijit live in concert on Sunday, 7th May at Everest Cricket Club, Georgetown, powered by the Massive Tank.
Are you ready to celebrate with us? It's our anniversary and we have something special for you! For the entire month of April, spend over $100,000 with us and you'll get 50% worth in free spots during the entire month. That's right, you'll get 50% more for your money, giving your brand even more exposure. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to celebrate our anniversary with us and boost your brand's exposure. Contact us now and let's make this a month to remember. This offer is valid for the month of April only, so act fast and make the most of it. Happy anniversary to us, and here's to many, many more years of success together.
Welcome back. 33 ranks of the Guyana Police Force have successfully completed an international training course in prosecution at the School of the Nations. The graduates are the second batch of police ranks to benefit from the course and include 3 top performers who all completed their studies with a 100% pass rate. The police prosecutors course was established to give police ranks formal accredited training to improve their performance in court. DPI caught up with some of the graduates. American oil giant ExxonMobil has won an award for the rapid speed its affiliate ExxonMobil Guyana was able to develop Liza Phase 1 in the country's prolific Stabroek Block. On Sunday, April 30th, Exxon received the Offshore Technology Conference Distinguished Achievement Award of 2023 for companies, organizations, and institutions. The OTC 4-day event commenced on May 1st and is being held in Houston, Texas, USA. According to a statement from OTC, ExxonMobil received the award for their innovative work that has resulted in Liza Phase 1 being one of the fastest projects of its type in the industry, cycling from discovery to production in less than 5 years, compared to the historical 10-year timeline for projects of this magnitude. It was added that Liza Phase 2 then came online but 2 years after Liza Phase 1 and within 8 years of discovery. Total production of the Liza field is approaching 400,000 barrels per day, helping to responsibly meet the world's energy needs at a critical time. The Guyana Police Force is investigating the unnatural death of a 49-year-old man who was found dead in a city guest house last Friday. The dead man has been identified as Umar Ali of Lot 221 Beefield, Pattinson, Greater Georgetown. The police reported that Ali's lifeless body was found in room 104 of the Kwamina guest house. Investigations reveal that around 14 hours on April 28, Ali checked into the guest house with someone dressed like a female but suspected to be a male. According to the receptionist, at 14 hours 15, she was in the receptionist area when the person that checked in with Ali rushed out of the room and told her that Ali had fallen and hit his head on the tile by the toilet area. And moving on, the Maritime Administration Department, or MARAD, on Monday announced that, effective April 30th, 2023, the operation time for water taxis from Parika, Region 3, to Wakenham, Parika to Legwan, and Parika to Supanam, Region 2, will be from 5 hours 30 to 17 hours 30. MARAD also noted that water taxis that traverse passengers on the Demerara River between Vredenhoop and Georgetown will be permitted to operate from 5:30 to 20 hours. The department said this takes effect immediately and will remain in effect until otherwise amended by them. Failure to comply with the new notice can lead to the immediate revocation of operating licenses, MARAD stated. And to wrap things up, President Ali assured that workers will benefit from the country's economic and social transformation being driven by the oil and gas sector. His assurance comes at a time when workers have been complaining about the daily challenges of feeding their children and the high cost of living and inflation rate. With $5 billion US dollars set aside in this year's budget to ease the high cost of living, government is yet to reveal its strategy to cushion these effects across the board. The head of state highlighted that the country is presently on an irreversible trajectory towards greater progress and prosperity. He was keen to note that workers are pivotal to the success of this process. And to wrap things up as usual, we close things off by being a little blunt by turning the pages of today's Kaieteur News to page 7. Exxon's on top of the world. For Exxon, it is profit record after profit record. For Guyanese, it's the same record, poverty and hungry belly. Exxon's making big money in Guyana. Guyanese are getting a big dirty stick for their oil. The president had said Guyanese are holding the wrong end. Now even the president has fallen in line with that. What Exxon wants, Exxon gets. What Jagdeo does, Jagdeo gets away with. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation. Welcome to the National Outlook on Tuesday, May 2nd, a working day, on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lal. I hope you enjoyed the day off yesterday, and this being Guyana, there is another one coming up this week, on Friday, believe it or not, and we look forward to that also. Tuesday. What do we talk about today? Elections, or the elections that have gone and the ones that are to come. National elections, local government elections. I'm looking at last Thursday's headline, and it's red and in your face. Elections Commissioner of Inquiry report. Shockingly, brazen acts by GCOM trio to obstruct elections process. Lowenfield Myers Mingo accused of subverting ascertainment of Region 4 votes. Indeed, let me register clearly where I stand. Those in charge of GCOM at the time, the operations of GCOM, Chief Elections Officer, Deputy Chief, and Returning Officer, I think, Region 4, Mrs. Mingo, Lowenfield, and Myers, they engaged in what I will put very gently as totally unacceptable behavior, totally unpardonable behavior. My views on the elections are over, and I don't like to talk about it. It's done. It's over. The PPP won. There was fraudulent attempts repeatedly, and there should be penalties for that. What I'd like to talk about today is what the Commission of Inquiry recommended. It says that we should depoliticize the GCOM, the elections agency. The government appoints 3, commissioners, and the opposition appoints 3. The 7th person is done in consultation with the leader of the opposition by the president. Now, I'm saying this in very rough language. So you've got 7 commissioners, 6 commissioners and a chair, and politics is in every appointment. How are we not going to get stuck where we are? Where we have been stuck with allegations of rigging and fraud and thievery and banditry for the last 60+ years. We just can't evade that. And it's what is killing us. And why we have the passions during election season. And we have all these furies, these angers, years after, about who robbed whom and who cheated and who did what. Endlessly. Depoliticize the thing, take out the politics out of it, easier said than done, and we're going to make a start to going somewhere better. Until we do so, we're not going to get anywhere. Additionally, the COI said, change your campaign financing, reform it, your campaign financing situation. Too many big players are involved. Too many big players with big money are involved. And essentially, they are buying influence. They are buying power from whoever wins. Oh, they're smart enough, the big campaign financiers are smart enough to give money to both the PPP and the PNC. So whoever wins, they're safe. They're good. They're able to continue like they've done before. And our politics continue as usual. Something has to be done about this. Something of substance. Something with meat. Until we do so, we're not going anywhere. So we're talking about elections and who cheated. Let's fix the things that came out of umpteen reports during the 2020 elections and what the COI is recommending today. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. You were listening to the National Outlook.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.